Hi, my name's Alvin, and today we're going to be working on a routine that includes the neck, the jaw, and the scalp. The head is where we hold everything. Stress, concentration, jaw clenching, eye strain, it all accumulates in the muscles of the face, scalp, and neck. By the time someone asks for headache relief, the tension has been building for days, sometimes weeks. So now the pressure is coming from my thumbs. I'm not sliding over the hair. I'm moving the scalp itself over the bone beneath it, almost in a small circles. Steady pressure. The glea apneurotica, the broad sheet of fascia covering the top of the skull, holds more tension than most people realize. People who carry stress in their forehead, who clench without knowing it, who get headaches that wrap around their skull, this is where it lives. And if you stay up to the end, I'll show you. Let's call it a bonus routine on how to work the neck and suboccipitals. And so you want to alternate between the circular friction and with your fingertips and the compression that I was doing earlier with my thumbs. And you want to lightly squeeze and release, picking up the fascia off the bone. There's no rigid path, just follow the terrain, but keep your rhythm consistent. Now from the scalp, let your fingers drift down to the temples. You're now on the temporalis, and this muscle fans out from above the ear up toward the temporal ridge, and it's one of the primary muscles of mastication. So anyone who clenches their jaw, and that's most people, whether they know it or not, carries tension here. And so I'm using the same quality of touch as I did on the scalp here. It's slow circular friction with my fingertips. I want you to also notice how I'm not scratching at the scalp or sliding over the hair. If you look at my fingers, there that's more like a scratch. Here, I'm moving the scalp, moving the skin, moving the fascia over the skull. So you feel the difference between this and this, right?
Yeah.
And you can use 2 or 3 fingers, whatever feels most natural to you. Me, I'm basically using 3 fingers here. If you look closely, you can see that my 4th pinky finger is in, and is involved in the pressure. And what you want to do is you want to press just enough to engage the muscle belly beneath. And from there, I transition into the forehead, working across the frontalis and along the brow ridge. I keep the pressure comfortable and the pace slow. I'm not trying to do anything aggressive here. This is a calming bridge between the broader scalp work and the more specific work I'll do around the jaw. You want to begin with slow, light pressure, sometimes lighter than you think. And you want to work the masseter bilaterally with your fingertips. You can ask the client to gently clench and release so you can feel the muscle belly engage, and that's your target. You can find the masseter muscle by locating the zygomatic arch and all the way down into the angle of the mandible. The masseter is the strongest muscle in the body by some measures, and yet it responds beautifully to gentle, patient work. You're not overpowering it. Alright. Yes, I'm going to ask you to open your mouth a little bit. I'll give you jaws. You can ask your client to open their jaw so that you can feel the distinct bands of tension. Areas where the tissue feels ropey or resistance, you want to slow down at those spots and give them some time. It feels different, right? Mm-hmm. And now we arrive at the base, the suboccipitals. You got 4 small muscles, deep and tucked right under the occipital ridge that connect the top vertebrae to the skull. They're postural, they're reflexive, and in a world where everyone is staring at screens, they're almost universally hypertonic. So you're always going to find some tightness in there. In a few seconds, I'm going to show you another way to work the suboccipitals. But first, I'll show you how to do this with a skull as a model. I'm going to curl your fingers so the pads rest just below the occipital ridge, not on the bone, just below it, where the soft tissue begins. The client's head is resting in your hands, which means gravity is doing most of the work. The weight of their skull pressing into your fingertips is the pressure. And here's another way to work the suboccipitals and the deep fascial neck muscles. You want to be gentle here with little circles as well, little circular friction. Remember, the neck muscles, especially the suboccipital at the base of the skull, often trigger referred pain into the head. And fascia connects all of this. Tension in the jaw pulls on the temporal fascia. Tightness in the neck restricts movement at the skull base, which then compresses the suboccipitals. So the scalp, fascia, jaw muscles, and cervical spine form a feedback loop. When one area releases, the others can follow. So take your time in this area. Here I'm going to turn the neck to the left. And do the same on the other side with my fingertips. I'm going to consider this a bonus technique. I'm going to grasp the muscles on the opposite side of the neck, and I'm going to pull them to the right side as I support the head with my left hand. Here's what matters. You cannot separate headache relief from nervous system regulation. The muscles of the head and jaw are directly wired to the stress response. When you're anxious, you clench. When you're overwhelmed, you brace. And manual therapy gives the nervous system a reset point, a moment where it remembers it can let go. But lasting relief requires addressing the patterns that created the tension in the first place. Breathing, posture, jaw habits, stress management, all those things. Hopefully this routine gives you a place to begin, but remember, your hands and the person in front of you teach you where to go next. So forget the routine. And that's one of the most beautiful things about massage.